Hello and good morning out there. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Hoops Talk. Today is Thursday, January the 9th. I'm your host, Mike DuPont. Thanks for tuning in, whatever outlet you might be following along, whether you're on Instagram at Mic'd Up, on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We do appreciate that. Thank you very much, by the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Mike is Kinda Funny. Again, on YouTube at Mike is Kinda Funny, on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or on Instagram at Mic'd Up. Let's just dive right in. First and foremost, I know normally we dive right into hoops action, but I've got something on my mind first. Yesterday, and currently cycling through the news, John Beilein, head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, he did hold a film session on an off day, which it's not atypical. He had a film session on an off day with his players, not atypical. During this film session, he told his team, which is composed primarily of players of color, that they were playing like a bunch of thugs. That's what he told them. Beilein did apologize to the players only after general manager Kobe Altman was involved. He was notified of the dilemma, and Beilein allegedly informed his team and his staff that he meant to use the word slugs to describe his team's effort, not the word thugs. But he does not deny using the word thugs, and whether he meant to use it or not is beyond the point. What I would ask you, and what I would be curious to know, is what has John Beilein done for the community of Cleveland or for the state of Ohio beyond collecting a paycheck? A quick trip to NBA.com shows me that Larry Nance Jr., a player on the Cleveland Cavaliers, a veteran on the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, spent time with 6 families from the Lorain County Boys and Girls Clubs, even making sure each family got gift cards amounting up to $2,000 during the holiday. For each family got a $2,000 gift card during the holiday. And you know, when I hear that definitely reminds me of thug-like activity, right? I say that tongue in cheek because that's not thug-like at all. When I think of those old Tupac albums that I used to listen to, I think about All Eyes on Me. I don't remember Tupac rapping about handing out gift cards over the holidays, handing out money over the holidays to needy families. Moving along, looking to Vegas for last night's hoops action. The Denver Nuggets got a 107-106 victory over the Dallas Mavericks. If you were watching yesterday, we advised you to take the over at 220.5 points. If you did take the over, it's a sad day for both of us. Unfortunately, you can't win them all. The Nuggets did get a 107-106 victory over the Mavericks behind a last-second go-ahead basket for Nikola Jokic. Jokic finished with 33 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Luka Doncic led the way for the Mavericks. Doncic finished with 27 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Mavericks are back in action. They're off today. They will be back in action on Friday. They've got an ESPN game. They will play at 8:45 against the Lakers. I believe that's the second half. It's the late game on Friday night. ESPN tip. We'll definitely be excited to see that one. It'll be worth following to see if Anthony Davis plays. I doubt he will, following that back injury. The MRI did come back negative if you watched the show yesterday. But that doesn't mean, and he is going to travel with the team, but that doesn't mean he's going to suit up and play. So we'll see. That'll be an interesting follow. The Houston Rockets were also in action. They got a 122-115 victory over the Atlanta Hawks, led by James Harden. 41 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists by James Harden. He did get those points, 41 points on 34 shots, including 4 of 20 from the three-point line. Also of note, Clint Capella finished with 22 points and 22 rebounds in the victory. The Rockets improved to 25-11 on the season, while the Hawks fall to 8-30 on the year. Trae Young led the way for the Hawks, 42 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds for the little fella. Shout out to him. The Houston Rockets right back in action tonight. They've got a back-to-back. They've got a nationally televised game tonight at 8:30. Will be on TNT against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Russell Westbrook did not play against the Atlanta Hawks, but he is expected to play against his former team tonight. Again, that's an 8:30 tip-off on TNT. One question I would pose to you looking back at that Houston and Atlanta game from last night, the 122-115 victory the Rockets got over the Hawks. I would pose a question to whoever might be listening out there. Feel free to answer this on whatever channel you might be following along on Instagram, YouTube, or on Facebook. Whose triple-double was more impressive last night? Would you say it was James Harden's triple-double that came in the winning effort? The 41 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists? Or would you say it was Trae Young's triple-double, the 42 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists for the young fella? Would you say that was more impressive? I'll go ahead and throw my hat in the fire. I'll say Trae Young's triple-double was more impressive to me simply because he did it on a lot fewer shots. He only needed, I believe, 30 shots to get those 42 points. He took 11 threes. He made as many threes. He shot 4 of 11 from the three-point line. So he made as many threes in 11 attempts as James Harden made in 20. So yes, I'll go ahead and take Trae Young's triple-double as more impressive, although the Rockets got the win, which is, I'm sure, most important to James Harden. But 2 of our 3 teams in our Texas Triangle report came away with victories as the Spurs got a 129-114 win over the Boston Celtics. The Spurs improved to 16-20, and they remain, I believe, in the 8th seed in the Western Conference. The Boston Celtics fell to 25-10. I believe they currently sit 3rd in the Eastern Conference. 3rd, that might be the Miami Heat. So they're either 3rd or 4th in the Eastern Conference right now. DeMar DeRozan led the way with 30 points in the win for the San Antonio Spurs. Also of note, Lonnie Walker, the 4th, finished with 19 points off the bench. Kemba Walker, also of note, Kemba Walker was ejected in that contest midway through the 3rd quarter. He did receive a pair of technical fouls within a 4-second stretch for profanity after being on the receiving end of a foul call that he didn't necessarily. I'm sorry, a foul call a non-existent foul call. He didn't receive a call that he thought he should have gotten, and he had some words for the official, and sure enough, he was ejected after he let the refs know how he felt. The Spurs are back in action for another Southwest showdown against Memphis on Friday. That will be it for our Texas Triangle recap. Thanks for tuning in. Again, on whatever channel you might be following along, on Instagram at Mic'd Up, on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We do appreciate that at Mike is Kinda Funny. Enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed day.